ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me.
We're in a part of the summer where we are in between Juneteenth and July 4th. Late June, school is out, beaches are in, winners are winning, and the Packers have been losers for 199 straight days.
Ooh.
Perfect time of the year, guys. Perfect time of the year to stay out the way, stay out of trouble. Shout out to Geno Smith and Jonathan Cooper.
Wow.
While everybody's getting their much needed R&R, we're still plugging away, guys. Look at us.
Yes,
Four
we are.
amigos. We're still plugging away, grinding, chopping tape, getting stuff done because the NFL never sleeps. Dave, June, False. Who's you all's favorite number 81 in the NFL history? Dave, let's start with you. Number 81.
Oh, it's a great question.
I know mine off rip.
I mean, it's easy for you guys.
I'm trying to remember any Vikings that wore 81. And I'm sure my fans will freaking kill me.
They are in the comments right now getting on your case, Dave. I'm sure they are.
Doubt that. I'm blanking at the moment. I'll have to apologize.
How about this? And it goes back to your heyday, Dave. The last time the Vikings went to the Super Bowl, Carl Eller.
Yes. Oh, without a doubt. I'm thinking wide receiver. Yes, Carl Eller, as in Hall of Famer Carl Eller. Why am I having a hard time talking about it? I don't know.
Tricky.
I just had 2 sips. That's it. I guarantee
Sure.
I'll be better when I drink more.
Yeah. 2 sips.
That's
Just
all
2.
I've had today. I'm
Just
drinking
2.
Bardstown bottled and bond.
Need a sponsor.
100 proof.
Don't do that for free.
Mm-hmm. Post no bills.
If they want to help sponsor us, shoot me a DM. I will more than be happy to have you as a sponsor.
Detroit bleachers and speakers, guys. What about you? Number 81. And let's try not to be too obvious. I think,
Okay, you want to go outside the obvious? It would be Terrell Owens.
Damn,
Okay.
Joe. That was mine too. Yeah, outside of the obvious.
Yeah, obvious being
Megatron.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Oh,
My
man.
favorite number
It's
81.
really not that many though. Like when I really think about it, everybody's 80, 84. Like, are there a lot of 81s?
Randy Moss wore 81.
He wore 18.
He didn't wear
Maybe
84,
80 for
and-
the Raiders, maybe.
Yeah, when he played for the Raiders, he wore 81.
Okay, I do. Yeah, but 84 for the Vikings, right?
Of course, don't mess that up.
Except for right after he was drafted, he was number 18.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even in Madden, the early Madden games before they changed it, I think he was initially 18. Only 2, Tim.
What's up, Tim?
Only 2. He says only 2. All right. Two big sips. We call those gulps around here.
Pickens was
Only
a
2.
good one. There.
Hey, I could do more, but only 2.
My favorite 81 is Sam Hurd. Those in Chicago, those Chicago Bears. We know Sam Hurd. We call him what's Bricks.
Is he the one that got in trouble for?
No.
For listening too much Jeezy? Yes. He got influenced by too much trap house music. That's my boy Sam Hurd.
Yeah, I think he's.
But
yeah.
There you go. Trying to trap up the whole all up and down 94. We my other favorite 81 is 81 days until Vikings, Lions, and your Chicago Bears start the season 1-0. Clap it up, fellas.
Yay!
Another good
You got
hook.
that right.
I like it.
That was a good segue, man. That was a good segue.
Favorite 81 wide receiver for me is Anthony Carter.
Ooh, it's a good one.
It's Michigan, right?
Anthony Carter was awesome. And I still remember vividly us beating San Francisco in Candlestick Park, and he just tore them up in the playoffs. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's an awesome man.
Broke up their
Candlestick Park. That is a throwback. Candlestick Park.
Yeah.
That's 2 stadiums ago.
The Giants.
Yeah.
As well.
But as we say, 81 days until the season starts for our division.
Let's go 1-0 for our 3 teams.
Just us. Just
our 3 teams.
Just us 3. The losing streak for the Packers will continue.
It will.
But right now, let's go ahead and recap the news of the week. The NFL canceled its supplemental draft. More on that later. Kyle Pitts got a much undeserved contract extension.
He got
undeserved. Okay.
Jeffrey Simmons, he became a very well-paid defensive tackle. But let's start right here. Training camps are still a month away, but right now, what we do have, we finally got our dates. We finally got our joints. Who's going to be dancing with us while we're taking out some aggression across the lines? So why are we going to keep with the school thing and the return to work? Let's talk about what our dates are, who's our joint practices with, and maybe 1 to 2 storylines that we want to keep an eye on as we are getting ready for camp, and that we're definitely going to be a major talking point while in camp. Let's start with the Lions. Bleach the speakers.
What if you don't have any joint practices this year?
Right.
That is a good one. Why do you all hate joint practices so much up there in Detroit?
It's not that we don't. It's not. Hey, I don't know. I just thought that was one of the things that was going to happen. There's a different approach this offseason going into fall camp that coach is definitely, Dan Campbell is saying we're going to do things a little bit different. So not having a joint practice is one of them. So,
and your first 2 games, whether you do it at Cincinnati or with the Commanders at your place, they're both valid teams to practice against, I would think.
Yeah. They just said we're going to do something different. You will, and you'll even see starters in the preseason games, which hasn't happened. It's a different approach this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell's he acknowledged that that they can be beneficial. He said the last 2 ones were good, but he just feels that we can get a lot more accomplished this time around on our own. So, hey, I mean, are the Commanders really a valid team?
Uh-oh.
Ow.
Well, they should be, but
I thought we were the only channel that be bashing Jaden Daniels and them. Maybe
the Commandos.
Get in there, folks. Get in there.
I'm gonna let Cincy live, though. I'm gonna let Cincy live. Fan of the, friend of the show. Probably he's watching right now, so I'm gonna let them live.
Don't do too much for Tim now.
I got nothing. I got no smoke.
Okay, but let's talk about storylines. You said, June, that is a major storyline that's been all this offseason. Dan Campbell and the vets on that squad, they want to get down to business, want to get back to Lion football. I guess that's a coin of phrase that they've now talking about right there. But what are some other things that we definitely need to pay attention to? Injuries. Somebody needs to show up healthy.
Oh, yeah. That's always on the radar. But Dan Campbell also said, and pause if applicable, that they're going to go hard regardless. They're still going to practice the same way. Just those 2 things are going to change. He said he's going to push him. He's going to push him for practice.
We also get to see, at least during the preseason games, how Penei Sewell transitions over to the left side.
Well, and more importantly, that the interior doesn't part like the Red Sea in the first regular season games too. That matters. So yeah, got a few new pieces on that line. So just like last year. And those few pieces, new pieces, will be in preseason games. So.
And the two storylines that are that we haven't really talked about as of yet is incorporating the brand new OC. We all know how that went last year. We're still trying to bounce back from the Ben Johnson departure. I mean, not that our offense was so bad. I think a lot of that could be attributed to the offensive line woes, but we're now bringing in a guy that's pretty close to Ben Johnson, and yeah, I mean, we were one and done with the other guy. His name actually escapes me right now, but
Was it Sorsby?
No, we all tried to forget that name.
Right.
Okay.
It's a common name. What's his name?
Play calling duties halfway through the season.
Right. Yeah. So it got dark real fast for him. Oh, John Morton. I don't know. Did somebody mention?
Yeah.
Not related to the salt company. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Or the receiver, Johnny Morton.
It was pretty salty though.
Yeah. Yeah. Still unemployed, if I'm not mistaken. But
as he should.
But the other one is the cornerback battle. Terrion Arnold is going to have a competition on his hands. He's not being handed the reins to the CB2 job this upcoming year. So, one thing about the Lions, we always have issues with corners. It's just one of our things. So to have some formidable competition for Terrion Arnold to have to work for his job going into that big number 3 year. He's past the sophomore, the rookie year, the sophomore slump. He's now, semi a vet now. Should be pretty comfortable, with the defense and stuff like that. So yeah, competition for him, and hopefully he can stay out of trouble and avoid a suspension, because he kind of had a shaky off season, and he doesn't need that. He was hurt at the end and missed a good chunk of last year with an injury. So he doesn't need any distractions. He needs to get right to work.
Not only are you, phasing in 2 new coordinators again.
Just one.
Oh, just
Kelvin,
one.
Kelvin Shepherd.
Okay.
Came back.
You do have a departure in the running back, in the running back room. He's been there for a long. Well, I guess he's been there. He's been one of the key figureheads in this resurgence of Lion football. So I think that is something else you want to pay attention to. You got, you brought in Pacheco. You brought in Pacheco to replace King Dave Montgomery, who's on his way out. So now it is officially HNIC for Mr. Gibbs. So good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there was always a lot of pressure on the OC to balance things out. And I think that, although we did love David Montgomery and like what he brought to the table, it kind of got in the way of Jahmyr Gibbs really, emerging and being the full-time guy. Of course, it kept him fresher, but at the same time, it was kind of weird to see one of the best running backs in the game, spending a full series on the sideline, even to the point to where they were like, okay, we need to find a way to just throw him in the slot or something, because him just being on the field is going to make things more difficult for the defense. So now it is, solely on him not solely on him, but I think that the pressures of trying to, even things out are out the way now. He's still, working on his extension as well. So this is an important year for him to, show his worth.
Over under 9.5 games for Isaiah Pacheco this year.
Oh man, I'm gonna go over. I can't prey on injury. Obviously, I'm not preying on it regardless, but I don't want to lean into his injury proneness. We have enough of that.
When he's healthy, I like Pacheco. I'm a fan because just the way violence, how violently he runs. But there's a shelf life on that. And Kansas City, they may have got out that jam, or they may have got rid of somebody a little bit too early. We shall see as far as Pacheco and that running game is concerned. But I do agree. Jahmyr Gibbs, dog. Dave, same question for you, man. So we all know quarterback competition that you all got going on up there in Minnesota. That's probably the number one thing that's on everybody's mind. But tell us, when are your training camp dates? Who are you joint practicing with? And something other than the quarterback competition that you're focused in on.
Well, rookies report on the 26th. Rookies, quarterbacks, walking wounded, etc. And then the vets report on the 28th, which seems to be about a common date across the board, where we open to the public on, I think it's the August 1st. Our joint practice, we do have one, is the August 19th and 20th with the Baltimore Ravens. That coincides with week 2's of the preseason game. Our first preseason game is against the New York Giants, which should be interesting. And then we have Baltimore, and we end up at Denver. Now, for our storylines, besides the we would have won versus J.J. McCarthy, we've got some interesting ones. We have today, Nolan Teasley, our new GM, is remaking the front office. He has been since he's got there, and it's been a whole bunch of changes. Today we learn Ryan Grigson is no longer with the team. To the shouts and applause of many Vikings fans, that is a good thing. He is seeking other employment elsewhere. I wish him luck. But that was one of the questions. He was demoted from assistant GM. He was going to be put in a different position, and now he's walked, from what I gather. But the other big storyline that's popped up lately is the possible trade of Jordan Addison.
Yo.
Yes. And it was started by Jason La Conforna from ESPN, or Sports Illustrated, pardon me, who floated the hypothetical trade to Baltimore, no less, because he's from Maryland, that it would make sense. Well, he's not the only one that's picked up on it. We've got local beat writers that have picked up on it, and including Ben Lieber, former linebacker and stud for the Minnesota Vikings, who has his own show on KFan, has talked about it, because the reason being is Jordan Addison is entering his 4th year. He's already been designated the Vikings picked up his 5th year option.
He's a designated driver too.
Well, he needs that for sure. But the question is, he will be due a big contract if the Vikings choose to extend him. And supposedly they've offered him an extension, or there's rumors thereof, but he's turned it down because it's not enough money. He's looking to get at least $30 million for a wide receiver too. Well, when you got Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the league, as your wide receiver 1, and he'll be due another extension here within the next couple of years, you got to figure out how are you going to pay both wide receivers in excess of probably, if you total it up, well over 60 million, probably 75 or 80 million. Are you going to do like Cincinnati did with their 2 wide receivers? Could you? Yes. Will you? That's a different question. Nolan Teasley is going, I don't know. What if we like the we would have won and want to give him an extension? What's he going to want paid? And it's probably in the close to $50 million range, which makes me choke, but okay. It's all about the money and the availability. Generally, you follow the money. This is a passing league. Wide receivers get paid almost 3 times as much as running backs do. And quarterbacks obviously get paid the most. And you figure, well, why do wide receivers get paid more? Because they're throwing the ball more. The league is closing in on 60% passing rates, which is crazy, versus running the football. So if you go with the money route, are you setting yourself up for success like Cincinnati? And that one I seriously wonder. Where you can't pay a defense and all your money's on the offensive side, or do you spread it out some? And that, I think, is what's generating these Jordan Addison trade rumors.
You know, my old saying, spread cheeks, not hate. But Dave, Minnesota does 2 things very well historically. They know how to find wide receivers in the draft, and they know how to trade them. If it happens, well, you know, we've been down this path before. We got a question.
You get good wide receivers all the way into the 4th round.
I say it all the time. That's why I have no idea why people are paying these wide receivers so much. You can just go get another one for cheap. I say it. I don't know why. But anyway.
We found Stephon Diggs in the 5th. So it's that's what I see. If they want to trade him and get a 2nd rounder for him, which I would think would be minimum, by all means, do it. We got a question this year, so if they trade him before this season, we've got coverage. That's not a big deal.
We got a question for you, Dave, in the live chat. All bias aside, how do you really feel about that quarterback room?
How do I feel? I'm rooting for the quarterback that gives us the best chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Is that a warm feeling? Is that a tepid feeling? Is it a cold feeling?
It's a general fan feeling. That's what I'm rooting for. Now, if I want to get controversial, I'm a JJ McCarthy proponent. I think JJ did enough towards the end of the year to deem to be the starter. He has gone through OTAs and minicamp, and he has done just as well, if not better, than Kyler Murray. Now, Kyler Murray's more talented. He's got a more talented throw, but he's got his own issues as well. And it's going to come down to, does Kyler Murray pick up the offense, which he's supposedly struggling with, the play calls, because they're long. Kevin O'Connell loves this West Coast version of takes 5 minutes to call in the play sort of deal. It's a whole paragraph. If he struggles with that, or if he's off and not making everything go, whereas JJ McCarthy's showing comfort with it, he knows it, he knows the checks, he knows the play calls, he knows everything. And he goes in and he's improved on the offseason with his techniques, which he's demonstrated he has. He can now layer a ball in and all that versus the full rifle mode he used last year. It could be interesting. The best for the Vikings would be that JJ McCarthy wins the competition, because he's on a rookie contract. They keep him for the long term. He will be the first quarterback drafted to be what do they call it? A franchise quarterback since Fran Tarkenton. And Fran Tarkenton didn't start out that well, and he went to the Giants, played like crap there, and he came back, and he was great.
Ooh.
Fran
Tarkenton didn't win his first start, though.
And Dante was working out until his knee blew up. And we haven't had one. We were hoping on Teddy, but Teddy's knee imploded. He was done. It was a miracle that he came. There's a miracle he can walk. But the fact that he can come back and play as a good, valid backup is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
Fran Tarkenton did win his first start of his career.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Hall of Fame type performance.
So did J.J. McCarthy.
Don't remind me. All right, Dave. That's very cool. Remind me again, who did you say your joints were? Cincinnati and who?
No, we have only one joint practice.
Okay.
And it's our one team. It's 2 days. It's the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay. All right.
It goes in the week 2 preseason game.
We shall keep an eye on the
Purple
quarterback
on
battle and maybe Jordan Addison getting a new secondary color to add to his purple. We're going to take a quick break real fast and then talk about what's going on with the Packers and the Bears. If you're watching live, you know what to do. Sit still, staple your butt to that chair because we are not going to be gone long.
Need a Garrett's popcorn break.
All right, hydration break over. Shout out to the World Cup, guys. You all following the World Cup?
See this? It's empty. Why? Because it's so good.
You all have been following the what do they call it? The God's game, the Lord's game, most beautiful game, football.
Soccer,
as they call it in some, soccer for us. You all been following that?
No. Absolutely. Well, I know the U.S. team they clinched, but moving on to the next round.
I don't really know how the opening stages and knockout rounds, how all that goes. But yes, the United States is they're performing well and they are still playing. They are advancing on somewhere. But I know they're paying close attention to what's going on with the World Cup in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Why? Antonio Freeman, you all remember him, right? Mm-hmm. I had nightmares on Sunday because of Antonio Freeman. Did not like him whatsoever. I mean, he's a cool guy, but I did not like what he did on Sundays. But as it relates to what we're talking about now, his son is on the U.S. men's team for the World Cup.
Okay.
Good for him.
And he's out there doing big things. I think he scored a goal in one of those games too. So shout out to him, to the family. I do not extend those shout outs to the Green Bay Packers. Still losers.
Stops there.
It definitely stops there. Elsewhere, what's going on with the Packers? We talked ad nauseum about their overpay of Christian Watson. But I think the number one thing that they are looking for this offseason is, do they actually need Jordan Love to take it up a notch?
That's a question. He's a good quarterback. Whether he's elite,
he's
all debate that.
Professional quarterback.
Professional, yes. Thank you, June, for returning to the show and correcting us on that.
We've seen Jordan Love up close and personal, no Diddy. So we all have a necessary bias against Jordan Love, but we also don't have the green and yellow colored goggles that a lot of people watch Jordan Love wear, right? I don't think I'm breaking any news and say I think he's, like you said, Dave, just okay. He's elite during maybe 4 weeks of the season, as they've all picked up on Toyotathon. He can do some things. He's not garbage, but when they glaze him, it's like when you're like, okay, rolling our eyes. He ain't all that, bro. Their training camp opens July 28th, same as yours, Dave. Rookies report the day prior. Joint practice will be against the Wee Widow Ones, former team, Arizona Cardinals, on August 26th. Full month. So, bias aside, gentlemen, what would a step forward season look like for Jordan Love?
Torn ACL.
June.
That's crazy.
June. You can't take a step forward if you tear your knee, literally and figuratively.
It's a preference-based answer. Sorry.
I think Jordan Love, he threw for $4,000 last year, right? And he had
something the Chicago Bears have never done.
Wow.
That's correct, but forthcoming.
Optimism.
Great answer there, Pay.
So Jordan Love, he did have a standard season for most modern quarterbacks. Shout out to the Chicago Bears. But for those who are still questioning him, if you're going to take a step forward and be elite, I think he actually needs to take. I don't think it's a stats question. I don't think it's a touchdown to interception ratio question. I think is one, he needs to do it when it matters. He needs to do it outside of Toyotathon. In fact, he needs to do it after December 13th. He needs to get his team out of the 7th seed and he needs to get his team into the championship game. And I ain't talking about going through the chest of the Dallas Cowboys. That don't count.
Oh, you're discrediting him for that one. Okay. I see where you're headed, Pay.
It doesn't count if Jordan Love and the Packers, if they're actually concerned about hearing all the noise coming out from their ops about Jordan Love and, maybe he ain't what we think he is, then guess what? You got to show up and prove it when the great ones prove it. And during winning time. No disrespect to the Lakers. You all disagree?
Not at all.
I agree.
What road did they lose last year towards the end?
Oh, they lost in the yes. They lost 5 consecutive games in a row, which has led us to their 199-day streak of L's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think timing plays a big part of what he does. I mean, you can look at the numbers and say he did great, but what matters most is when you do it. So if he had less numbers with a couple playoff wins and a couple clutch performances in playoffs, you look at him totally different from the actual season that he had. Well, timing is everything.
I actually gassed him up a little bit. He did not have 4,000 yards last year. He had 15 games played, 33,000.
Ooh.
No, 3,300. I'm sorry, 3,300. Passing yards. The last 2 seasons, 3,300 yards passing.
What did he have? 1,000-yard rushers on his team? Sheesh.
Josh Jacobs? Are you calling him 1,000?
I'm just asking with a low passing number. Hey, I'm not used to that.
Josh Jacobs was 929 yards.
Exactly. What are we doing here? All right. So enough Packer talk. But shout out to the Freeman family.
No.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's more.
Yeah. What does Jordan Love need to win?
The lottery and retire.
Well, he's a new father. He's recently married. If he can win some playoff games, that'd be the icing on the cake. But Dave, I think you have something in
Micah Parsons.
Oh, he needs Micah Parsons to win. Oh, I think that is another storyline. But I don't necessarily know. Let me take that back. We already know Micah Parsons is going to be on the PUP. So it's not a storyline for camp.
Except for Micah's brother, Terrence, has a podcast. And Dallas fans got all pissed off at him when he was down there in Dallas. Terrence comes out this week and says, you think he's going to be ready early in the season? Not a chance.
9 month.
Week 8 at minimum.
He said 9 month rule.
Why would he come out and say all that?
Well, because they were saying that he would be back week 2. And he said, no, it's a minimum of 9 months. because not just this season, my career is on the line. I'm not going to rush that.
Oh, Micah said it, or did his brother do it?
I'm not sure which one said it, but that was what was being said. 9-month rule.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I didn't need to hear it from nobody. I mean, we've
It's not
seen
big
enough.
news, but,
I mean, yeah, we've seen it. We've seen enough. These injuries enough. We know what type of timetable they're on. The Packers can lie all they want. Micah can, try to speak it into existence all he wants. I don't care. Unless you've got the knees of Thanos
or Adrian Peterson. He came back
or
right.
him.
Adrian Peterson was a freak.
Yeah, he was back pretty fast off of ACL though.
And he busted 2,000 yards that year, but his first few games back, he was not the Adrian of old. But the whole fact that he came back.
I don't think Adrian was even healthy. I just think, I just think two things. One, he can play. His pain tolerance is unlike any other human. And two, no one in that building was going to tell him no.
Yeah.
He walked in with a belt and said, "I'm playing."
Armed.
I love Adrian Peterson. I can't even hold you. He was one of
I
my
still remember the final game, and he was rushing for the record. And I was sitting in Ali Al Salim at the PAX terminal watching the game. And he got pulled there at the very end. And I'm going, all he needs is 6 yards. No. But anyways.
So moving past the Packers, we're coming over to the Bears. And now the Bears, they're open their training camp for the rookies in particular on July 25th, earlier than anybody else in this division. The vets report the 28th, same as everybody else. So there is no upper hand being had there. We all know how this is going to get down. The vets they're getting their R&R for real right now because they already Ben Johnson, shout out to the Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson's already told them, just like last year, this is going to be tough on you. So you better come prepared. Joint practice will be Cincinnati Bengals once again and the Tennessee Titans once again. Both of those practices will be held on August 20th and the 27th, respectively. Can't wait. And you learn a lot about your team during joint practices. I'm not going to question Dan Campbell's his methods. He knows a lot about more football than I do. He knows his team better than I do. If he wants to zig while everybody else is zagging, hey, go ahead. I support it, but I also support joint practices. Give me more joint practices and give me less preseason games. I'm all for it. Storylines for the Chicago Bears. I think there's a few that we're going to be paying attention to once camp hits. Number one on that list is, where the hell is Kyler Gordon? Kyler Gordon, dynamite nickel cornerback. Everybody already knows that about him. But what they also know about him is he's always on the effing sideline. We need to see him return to practice, padded up with the rest of his teammates in camp. Don't drag this out. Even though everything what they're not saying sounds like this is going to creep into the season, he needs to be there. Spider-Man needs to be in camp. I don't want to hear nothing. And the new Spider-Man movie come out 31st. Kyler Gordon needs to be there too. Same day. Opening camp, ready to grow. Another injury, Braxton Jones. Now, Braxton Jones is actually healthy for the first time in a long time. The on-again, off-again left tackle for the Chicago Bears. He more than likely is going to win this job. This is his last chance to prove that he's a starter in the league. He got it. He got the opening. He needs to take full advantage of this. Ben Johnson said he looks, in his words, yoked. He looks like he's in the best shape of his life. I'm rooting for Braxton. Braxton, a former 5th-round draft pick, much maligned draft pick, left tackle for the Chicago Bears. Not that he was trash. It's just that you don't think he's a starter. He's just not that good. Your last shot, buddy. We're paying attention because that is a very, very valuable blind side that you are protecting. Don't F up. And speaking of that very valuable blind side, can't go without mentioning my man, cover athlete of Madden, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams has got to improve. And where he needs to improve, ball placement. He's got to improve that ball placement, Dave. That's got to come up. Yes, you're going into the second year of the offense. First time he's ever went into a second year of an offense. I want to see the improvement. There should be market improvement when you've had this much time to pour over the same playbook, this much time to play with the same teammates. The improvement needs to be astronomical, not just in the minor things like getting guys to the line and, commanding the huddle. Those are important. Not saying they are. And from all intents and purposes, everything we're hearing from all the beat reporters, there has been improvement in that area. That shows leadership. That shows that everybody is on one accord with you as the leader, one band, one sound. But we need to see it also with keeping the chains moving. That's how you help out this defense who, might still need some help. And as it relates to getting the opposing offense off the field. If you can go ahead and out there and keep the pressure on, keep the offense on the field, keep putting numbers up on the board, the other offense has to scale back their playbook to try to keep up. Makes it easier for the defense to pin their ears back. Not just saying. We weren't able to draft any defensive pass rushers. We weren't able to get any in free agency. We got to do it. We got to do it how we going to do it. Coverage, sack it all out. No Diddy. Dave.
I
know you got a question.
You forgot the one question I ask every week. Will the Chicago Bears finally find a home? Or are they doomed to wander the Midwest forever like a heartbroken lover who just can't commit? 1 minute, they're deep in talks with Illinois. The next, they're running to Hammond, Indiana, with open arms and billion-dollar dreams. Governor Pritzker says, "Stay with me," while Indiana whispers sweet tax incentives in his ear. New sites pop up daily. McCook, Southworks. But will the McCaskies finally pull the trigger? Or is this just another dramatic season of As the Stadium Turns?
Excellent production there, Dave. I love the imaging.
Good
stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I try.
Oh, that was great.
This episode of the Bears Days of Our Lives. I like that.
Well, what's the story? There's a bunch of stuff that happened this week.
A bunch of stuff has not happened, and that's the problem. Nothing has actually happened. There's some stuff that's been talked about. As you put in our chat, there was back and forth about what's actually happening in Springfield, but I'm going to hold that to the last. So a couple of weeks ago, Pritzker had said that the Bears were not doing what they were supposed to do. And then he came a little bit off that hard stance, that hard line, and said, if the Bears call his office, call the necessary people and outline what needs to be done, he will call the special session. Excuse me. He would do it. He will play ball. He'll play ball, right? To that point, as reported in Politico, the Bears are actually drafting legislation with the state representatives as we speak. Cam Buckner, who is also a state representative, I heard an interview with him on 670, The Score in Chicago. He was saying that's typical. He cited the Chicago Cubs when they was doing their Wrigley Field renovation. They came to the state reps with their plan, outlined specific stuff that they wanted. such as property tax certainty and all this other stuff. They brought it directly to the lawmaker's desk. They worked on some things, and they got it done. Wrigley just opened up a new what was it, gate? New gate, more money coming in for them. They just steady building stuff over there and getting taking more of our dollars out of pocket. Like, if you can keep giving some wins, I would like that. I'll pay more if you give me some more wins. But in any case, so coming past that, you remember the Bears said we are trying to have a finalized deal, a full plan forward, an agreement. Late spring, early summer was a timeline. We are really into the early summer part. Summer just started a handful of days ago. We're in that mode. But it's looking like, if they're going to continue down the path with Illinois, which has always been the desire. I've never bought into the Indiana thing. If there's going to be a special session, you all know there is a state fair going on downstate Illinois. That's going to be in Springfield, the capital. That's going to be in August. If they're going to call a special session, makes sense. Everybody's down there already. Let's do that then. So fingers crossed for August. Dave, you did mention some other sites that also threw their hats in the ring. Yes, when you've got the Wild Wild West going on, there will be. What's the phrase? How's the phrase going? When the cat's away, the mice will play.
Absolutely, yes.
That's what we got going
on. The mayor of McCook, or the village leader, or whatever he's called, and then the same with Southworks. But what I'm hearing, there's slag piles. One's a quarry, and the other one's the old steelworks.
So. Yes and no. So McCook is I don't even know if it's a village or not. I call it a suburb. Whatever. It's a very small suburb. It might even just call it a village. So it's very small. It's an industrial suburb, village, or whatever. It's really just
421 people that live there.
Yeah, it's for those unfamiliar. If you're unfamiliar with McCook, but generally familiar with Chicago. McCook is about a few miles west of Midway Airport. It's actually right next to Bedford Park, which is where Midway Airport sits. Bedford Park is mostly an industrial suburb as well. The problem with McCook and the problem with their offer, even though they said they will give the Bears free land, and they would give them money to build up there. There's two things wrong with this. Not wrong, but there's two things why they're probably not going to be prioritized. Even though the word is free, we like free 99 around here. But
best price.
You can't beat it. Even though the Bears already own Arlington Heights, and whatever area, the proposed area of McCook, it's about half the size of the Arlington Heights site. So Arlington Heights is about a little more than 300 acres. This proposed site in McCook is about 150. So that's first stop, right? Because the Bears want to do more than just have a stadium. They want to do the whole shebang. Shout out to Drake.
Right. And stadium, as we know, takes about 60 acres.
Mm-hmm.
The stadium and park.
So if the Bears can't, if half of 150's got to go to the stadium and parking and all this other stuff, it doesn't leave much less to do all the other fancy things that the Bears have their eyes on. Another thing that makes it a bit more complex for the Bears is what is also already in McCook. McCook's already got a stadium. Well, let me take that back. SeatGeek Stadium is not actually in McCook, but it's very close. SeatGeek is where the Chicago Fire play. It is a bigger stadium than what will be proposed for the Bears. It is a new stadium. I don't think it's even 10 years old. So two stadiums in that close vicinity, and then you got all the like you said, the industrial situation going on over there. It's a very business centric area, McCook, Bedford Park, and everything on that side of Chicago with Midway Airport. It's a lot of trailers, a lot of traffic. It just brings back the entire issue that we started at the beginning. all the traffic over there on the lakefront. So that's the McCook issue. Now, that's just me talking. Somebody who's familiar with the area. Southeast side. Now, that rung my ears. We did talk about this a little bit last week, Dave.
We did.
Now, if the Bears are going to do anything, this one is my favorite. If you put that over there, Southworks Quantum District, for those on the know, but familiar with it, a little bit familiar with Chicago, this is in South Shore. It's still Lakeshore property, just on the further south side. It's not that far from downtown Lakefront. You can still do a lot of things because you can just take Lakeshore all the way through. And I'm always going to cape up for the South Side. I'm always going to cape up for South Side development. And with the Obama Center just now opening a week ago, you can what the Curtis Starver, the representative who proposed this, you can link all this stuff together. You can link in the Quantum District. You can link in the Obama site. You can link all that, which is already linked up to the Museum of Science and Industry. You can make this a whole thing. You can revitalize that whole part of Chicago with just one stroke of a pen. I'ma like that. Probably a long shot, but this actually has more space than what the Arlington Heights site has. So it's worth it. It's worth an idea. From what I understand, Kevin Warren, when he asked directly about this, didn't shoot it down. So it's out there. And it's always Hammond and Arlington Heights are still sitting there twiddling their thumbs. What's going to happen? We shall see. But that's going on with the Bears.
The Bears Stadium saga continues. Tune in. You know you can't look away.
Although Jim will try. All right, so last thing. We got a few minutes left. Last big thing in the NFL, the Brandon Sorsby saga did come to a somewhat of a conclusion, at least for 2026. Dave, June, False. The NFL did cancel their supplemental draft. What you all thoughts on that? Was Sorsby given a raw deal?
I mean, he would have been in a regular draft if he wasn't messing around.
Perhaps.
He can still be drafted next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just got to wait. So.
He's got to wait. He can't play this year, which lowers his draft stock.
Mm-hmm.
He dealt his own hand on that one. I think.
Oh, turn a phrase there for a gambler.
He did not, or his lawyer did not inquire what all was it needed to take to get into the supplemental draft. That's obvious. Because the NFL came out and they filleted him. They roasted him in the denial letter. There will be no supplemental draft. And they didn't name him in particular, but he was the only one that petitioned for it. But he did not do everything that the NFL had wanted. And there are cardinal rules, both in the NCAA and the NFL, that you cannot violate. Now, in the NFL, you might say, well, yeah, but they're buddied and paired up with gambling. But it's gambling on your own team and other teams and such is a no-go. You cannot do that. And he obviously did. And we talked about last week. Well, he went to Gamblers Anonymous or whatever rehab he went to, but that was after the fact. You know, it was, oh, I got caught. Oh, I got a problem. I need to go.
Reactionary.
Yes. Not proactive, but reactive. You got it, Foster. So, was it wrong for the NFL to do what they did? They've got the right to do that. Now, will there be lawsuits is the next question. Will they sue the NFL? Will they sue the Players Association for not standing up for him? Because technically, the NFL Players Association covers everybody that has said they want to play in the NFL. And I'm not talking just play, they have a logistic or realistic chance of doing it, i.e. college players that declare, I'm going to go to the draft. It's all part of the CBA. Did the NFL violate the CBA in that respect? We'll find out probably in court. Or does the NFL as its own entity have the right to say, no, he can wait till next year and come in the draft? Which I'm sure the court will probably rule that way.
Only going to compound his problems going after the NFL.
Yeah, you're not even in it. It's not like you're Brian Flores and you have been in it and you've been to the top and then you sued the NFL. Now, this is a kid wanting to get into it, and it's probably not going to work.
What we've seen out of Brendan Sorsby, we know two things. One, he's a liar. Two is that he's very litigious. He's one of those kids that didn't get no whoopings. You know what I'm saying? They were always trying to weasel, trying to like, yeah, but I could do the yeah, but kids. I can do, the rules don't apply to me. If he got more whoopings as a kid, he wouldn't be going through this right now. 9,000 bets. 9,000 bets he made in school. He didn't try to take ownership of his problem. If he had an actual problem, if he believed he had an actual problem when he went to Gamblers Anonymous, he would atone for his addiction. That is a part of overcoming your addiction. You atone for your actions. Atoning for your actions isn't going to the court and saying, hey, you know what? I should be able to play. Going to the court and getting a bogus injunction from the judge saying, you know what, not playing will be a detriment to this young man. Baloney. Him not playing is not going to stop him from being a model citizen. The judge saying that, he's going to miss out on having all the rah and all the good stuff that playing sports comes with. Hey, go play tiddlywinks. Go play softball. They'll still get that team. You can get all that stuff that you get out of there from playing those games. You don't have to play football. And football is not the only sport where you can get those benefits from having team camaraderie. And now he goes to the NFL. He tried to skip past all the judgment he was getting out of college and got to try to go around the NFL draft, jump in the supplemental draft. And the NFL said, rightly, that no, bro, that's not how we do things over here. You're going to have to, because you going through the supplemental draft in the fashion he was trying to do it, was basically circumventing the draft. That's against the rules. Dave, you remember way back then when, maybe not. But before there was an actual draft in place, teams just signed players from the neighboring schools. The neighboring schools in NCAA. That's all he did. Now, whoa, let's make this a little bit more fair. You gotta first announce that you're going to the draft, and you give teams to all do their due diligence and draft you. Trying to go around that, make you a free agent, and that's not how things do. If that was allowed, Eli Manning, we wouldn't have had that stuff with Eli Manning. We wouldn't have had that stuff with Caleb Williams. No, you need to go through the draft first, not get drafted, then go to supplemental draft. That's how the NFL works. And I'm positive he's going to bring this to a court. I'm positive he's going to try to sue the court. And guess what?
Mike Florio is almost 100%.
Because for one, he's not in the CBA. He's not protected by the union. So his only recourse is to take it to court. And the second he does take it to court, there goes your NFL career.
But the union, he falls in that gray area. The union negotiated players that could be in the NFL role. They did it that's how they got the rookie pay scale in place. That these guys could be drafted and they could, become NFL players. So we got to cover them. And of course, the players union being of those people in the NFL, players in the NFL, they said, no giving a quarterback $50 million who hasn't taken a snap in a game, i.e. Sam Bradford. God bless his soul. He was the last one. And all that sort of stuff. So he technically falls into that category. Now, will the NFL Players Association stand up for Sorsby? I'm sure they frown on gambling too, because it makes them look bad. It makes the NFL look bad. It makes them look bad. I think the kid, crapped his bed and now he gets Slay in it. Now, whether he could go to the UFL or CFL or Arena League or whatever is undetermined right now because most of them are finishing up. But it's going to be interesting.
Those college players, they don't get a vote.
No, they don't, because they're technically not NFL members yet.
There you go. They don't get a vote. And if you don't get a vote, you're not in a union.
But anyways, now, has him being denied driven any trades? What happened yesterday with the Saints?
Oh, what the Saints do?
They traded Wilson back to the Jets for a third rounder, I think it was.
Wilson.
As in quarterback? What's his name? I want to say Mark, but it's not Mark.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't necessarily think, as it relates to this story, no.
You don't think they're tied?
Not really. I do think there were some teams banding up, hoping that to get Sorsby on with a third or fourth. Zach Wilson, third or fourth.
Yes, Zach Wilson.
Third or fourth pick, maybe a fourth. I don't think anybody's going to give up a top 3 pick in next year's draft for this kid. But I was thinking that there were maybe a handful of teams that maybe spend a fourth on him if he clears that. A fourth. Anything higher than that, it would have been outlandish because he's a project.
Well, I counted that. He would have been a low first rounder, but
in this draft?
Probably in this one specifically, yeah. In the last one, we only had 2 drafted in the first round. Do you think he would have been better than the Rams QB? They took
no.
Well, so he finished bottom of that. But if the Jets were one of the ones mentioned, and they were probably thinking of a second round or third round bid for this dude, and suddenly he's not going to be available, they traded for Zach Wilson.
Well, I could tell you right now, his draft stock next year is going to be even worse.
Tim asks, how about the Sanders rumors?
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders, who they're saying, don't believe anything coming out of Cleveland right now. They're trying to up the price for some quarterback. One of them quarterbacks going to get traded. Don't believe anything coming out of them. We've seen this before. Not buying it. I don't think either one is lighting it up, as they say. But because Sorsby cannot play college, he can't play. He can't put on any new tape. His tape right now is what these NFL teams will have going into next year. 6th round pick, and the Jets would draft him in the 4th round. Bleachers to Speakers. June, welcome back. B. Foster. It's a month into the camps open, but the Pistons are on the clock. What's going on at Bleachers to Speakers? Where can everybody find you guys?
You can find us on Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. You can also at all the aggregators for your audio fix. You can find us on Bleachers Speakers. Just type in Bleachers Speakers FFSN and S anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can find us. You can also For Pistons, you can look us up for a post-game podcast, and that's also on Bleachers to Speakers channel as well. You can also go to Corner to Copa on YouTube, and that's where Foster and Coach does their Tigers coverage.
It's also an imposter going by the moniker Bleachers to Speakers, and he wears Packer apparel.
Really? You need to send me the link, Foster.
His channel is Bleachers to the Speakers.
Oh, he added a word.
Yeah.
Okay. Packers fan.
He's a Packers fan. Well, he had on a Packers jersey. I didn't listen.
Right. Maybe not, but yeah.
Hey, maybe we'll find our Packers
representative. There's only room for one Bleachers to Speakers.
That's true. Yeah, that would muddy the waters.
Change his name. You're muted. You're muted. That's a fine.
If you wear green and yellow or wear Packer apparel to begin with, you're a fan.
No one just does it, right? Yeah.
Because what kind of swag is that?
It was the all green joint too. It wasn't the white one. It was just all. Ugh.
Yeah,
it's not something you just like. Oh, this looks cool.
No, it doesn't.
Cheese even looks better.
Exactly. Dave, Vikings first and Skull. You guys, where can everybody find you? What you guys got coming up?
Vikings First and Skull. You can find us at Vikings First and Skull on YouTube and any of your podcast aggregators. And tomorrow night, we have the Real Forno Show. We recorded it yesterday because Tyler's up in Winnipeg watching the Blue Bombers. He's on vacation. But we recorded it, and is what are the things necessary for the Vikings to get to the Super Bowl? And it was interesting. It'll come out tomorrow night, 6:05 p.m. Central Time. Join us. And then, of course, we'll have two bloggers on Sunday reviewing all the news of the week.
First Red Chicago, stay tuned because we are going live to discuss the NBA draft. We discussed the Bulls' first two draft picks yesterday. Check that video out here. But also tonight, with our Central Division buddies, we will be discussing the entire draft. Also breaking down the Giannis trade, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. That will be 7 Central, 8 Eastern, right here at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Dave, what they say in Minnesota?
Oh, you know what we say in Minnesota. We say, Skull Vikings! And if I turn the volume up.
June, for Detroit, what they got?
Well, we don't say what they say, but.
I'm pride.
And as always in Chicago, make sure you keep it classy.
The Bears.